Hey folks, Aaron here, otherwise known as Ivorfowler, and we are back with Magic the Gathering Arena. This time we're not going to look over the UI too much, we've kind of covered that. What we're going to do is jump straight into a game, this time with the upgraded variant of the mono white token list. So, match already found. I've had a few moments to... I've had quite a long time to play with this now. I've done a quick constructed as well, which is where you have to run essentially a set of ratchet matches back to back in the hope of getting some sort of reward. I'm actually going to retract my comments on that one, saying how of my negative comments. It's actually quite fun. And the fact that it is like a Hearthstone's arena where you have the 3 losses and then you're out. So you do have options there for some actually good rewards. Now, I've also gone into some microtransactions just to try that out. Now, there is a downside to it, which mainly is in the form of all of it being in dollars. Now, for anyone who is not US, it can be a little bit troublesome just to work out sometimes the... Of course you've taken that one. To work out the difference in your money for the currency exchange. However, it's not so bad. And normally you can get a bit better deal. So we are going to block here, just so we can get our cat in the bin. I'm actually going to keep that caster. There we go, it's a 3 mana. That's what we're looking for. We're going to hold off for 2 seconds, play the Dusk, and see if he takes the bait on this. So, I do have a pack already spare, so we can open that up as well after this. Or you never know, we might be able to open up 2, as I do have 1 win away from getting my 10 win pack. Or is it 15 win pack? I can't remember. So again, triggers here. It's quite an interesting way of how the triggers work. It's that it actually shows you going through. However, there is quite an annoying timing system I have found with this lately, which is... no, not block. When it comes down to trying to time a attack with an effect, and if you can easily misclick. So, for example, on the stack could be a on-crop crusher's exert effect, which is to stop a block. The issue is you can actually target one of your own blockers, one of your own creatures, to then not block, which immediately gets rid of the effect. Oh, okay. You may cast from your go-to if you gain life this turn, but you only... I don't think I want you to keep hitting me for 5. Thank you very much. I'll take a token. There we go, that's the final land we want. So this currently this deck runs 22 lands, which is kind of on par for an aggro deck. I will explain a little bit more about how the game kind of goes through and the basics of the game. Oh my god, that's getting big. But right now, we're just kind of playing it cool, and oh yeah, that triggers on that effect. I forgot that. Let's do it that way. Let's do it. Actually, I now have that. Let's do it that way. So now, essentially, I lost 2 blockers and got 2 back. But in this case... So right now, he's trying to build up a board so he can pretty much Sanctum Seeker us to death, but based on burn effect. Of course that's bad, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to flash, well, sorcery speed cast out to take out the Seeker and pass the turn. I've been quite defensive this game. But anyway, so what I'm going to do at some point in the near future, it actually might be on the same day, I'm still working on my schedule of when to upload videos. I will actually put out a introductory video on Magic the Gathering itself, just in case I have any of my older subscribers, or any subscribers who've just kind of stumbled upon this and don't actually know what the game is like. Ooh, Oketra's Monument. Now, Oketra's Monument won't actually trigger with anything we've got in our hand. I actually am feeling a bit greedy here. This is probably the worst play possible. A second Anointed Procession. Long game, if we can get long game, this is fantastic, because essentially all these will be making a lot of tokens. So instead of making 2, we're now making 4, we're making 8. Same with same with vampires, and we'll be making 4 Oketra Monument triggers once we get an Oketra Monument trigger. That's just how the effect. That's the effect of Anointed Procession, which is kind of the cornerstone of a token deck for standard. Paying 2 life. Okay. Now, the other thing that I've kind of had as a review as things have gone on is the lack of formats currently available. Now, to fill in anyone who's not in the know for Magic, currently Wizards of the Coast are trying to promote a very new format, or a revised format, called Brawl, which is a 60 card deck. Everything's a one-off apart from your basic lands, and you have a commander, and it can only be cards from standard. Now, that would be great to bring into an update on this, but they are not here, which is a shame, because I would have liked to have seen that. We do have standard, as we currently have right now, but we do not have drafting currently. Drafting is still a thing on the cards. I think it's got about another 50 hours before it triggers. There's no sign of Commander or any of the extended formats. However, Wizards did say that they were unsure about whether or not they wanted to do extended formats for this. I believe they want to try and keep Magic Online running at the same time, which is a much more complex and, I'll be honest, boring screen to record. As right now, this is, it's quite exciting. You can see the creatures there floating around. While with Magic Online, it's a very small screen where you just kind of see an idea of what the card looks like. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, because we do have a lot of blockers now, I have apparently lost connection. No, there we go. That was new. We're going to block with those 2 there. We can't block this as it flies, and the only way you can block flyers is with reach or with another creature that flies, which we don't have. And that hurt. Now I can sacrifice this for 2 life. I will remember that, because I didn't remember it last time. We can play both now. So let's play the Oketra's Monument. It won't do anything in this current time, but this will do a lot of work for us. And we now have a lot of vampires. And because we can, we're going to attack with all 10 of our creatures. As, let's face it, they have 3 that can block. They'll probably block all the knights. That's fine. We're going to be gaining 5 life. And take him to 3. Now, unless he's got a board wipe. Oh, he's transforming Argyll's Bloodfast. I forget what this actually does. So, Temple of Alcazots. You can sacrifice a creature and you gain life equal to its sacrifice toughness. So if he wanted to, he could sacrifice his Forerunner and get 4 life back. Which, in the case of where he is right now, that's not actually a bad idea. So, Maverick Fane. So he's going to ramp up probably the Forerunner. Oh no, he's doing the Sky Marcher. Interesting. Does he have another vampire? Ah, Lona. So, a legendary creature from Ixalan. The Butcher, who has the Vigilance and Lifelink, so doesn't have to tap to block. Yep, makes a token, makes a new... So this is 7 coming at our face. So this is where we've got to try and work out the maths. We've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 creatures to attack with. This is going to go a bit crazy. Oh, of course the timing's a little bit off with it. What we're going to do is we're going to sacrifice this to gain 2 life. So they're going to be gaining 6. Is it any more than 6? No. Yes, it'll be more than 6. It would be 9. So that's pretty much that gone. Before blocks are even considered. And can they block 2, 4? Essentially, there is no point in blocking, attacking right now. The block would be... The backswing would pretty much kill us. As well, we would be gaining 13 life. We really want to be... It will... 10... 27. Yeah, 27. They'd pretty much have exactly lethal on us if they didn't play any other. Knowing it, they will profane procession or anointed priests. If they've read anointed priest, or if they know anointed priest, they will. Ah, here we go. Now, the major thing what we'd be looking for now to draw, would be either removal. Where's that targeting? Yeah, exactly. It's targeting that. We'd probably be looking for some sort of removal spell. Not a land. That's kind of unfortunate. So, how are we going to do this? So they're going to gain now 12 life before we even hit, and we're going to gain 13. And nothing of theirs will die. All of our stuff will, or as much stuff as possible. So we'll hold off until we can get a little bit more of a force built up. Now, Profane Procession actually has a bit of a problem with our deck right now as it stands, as he needs to exile a target creature, and then if there are 3 or more cards exiled, it will transform. All of our cards are tokens, and the rolling on a token is once it's exiled, it doesn't exist anymore. It can never come back, as it doesn't really have a existence. Sure. So, if they decided to use Profane Procession on, let's say, our warrior token, it wouldn't do anything. So, let's see what we can bring up now. It's another land. So, we've pretty much lost here, which is unfortunate. However, we will just all attack now with 19 attackers. I didn't realise I had that many. And just see how the blocks and how the life goes, because I don't think we will kill them. I think they will be able to... So there you go, you're seeing Procession just removes a card, but doesn't actually keep it underneath it, so it doesn't count towards its transformation cost, as it needs 3 or more cards. So that's 3 life gained. That's no life gained. That's up to 3. So if I worked it out correctly, they'll probably end up on about 5 or 6 life at the end of all this. I don't think all of it has life, so it's just the tokens, 12. So they've used a timeout. Ah, they're on 9. 9 versus 17. The swing's gonna pretty much kill us. They've got game on board, but I think they're going to be a bit annoying about this. Yep, they're going to be annoying about this. So we are just going to concede there. So that's a shame. We did lose, but then again, Magic is very much an up and down sport. It's up and down game like that. So we didn't get our weekly win for 15. However, we still do have a pack in the store. So we'll open that one now, just to finish up the video. So what have we got? We have a Bloodstone Goblin, a 2 2 for 1 and a red. Goblin Warrior, when you cast a spell, if that spell was kicked, Bloodstone Goblin gains +1/+1 in menace. I'm not a fan of this card. Then we have Blood Tallow Candle, a 1-mana artifact with a ability that costs 6 and tap. Sacrifice Blood Tallow Candle. Target creature gets -5/-5 to end a turn. Again, not a fan. But here's a card I am a fan of, especially in limited. Pegasus Courser. 2 and a white for a 1/3 flying. Pegasus. Whenever Pegasus Courser attacks, another target attacking creature gains flying. In limited, this can make things go crazy. Benalish Honor Guard, a 2/2 for 1 and a white, that gets +1 for every legendary creature you control. Then we have Corrosive Ooze, a 1/1 green 2/2 ooze. Whenever a corrosive ooze blocks or becomes blocked by an equipped creature, destroy all equipment attached to that creature at the end of combat. In a couple of the decks that I've seen, especially in limited, where you can draft a lot of artifacts, this card is an all-star. Then we have our first uncommon of the pack, Knight of Malice, a 2/2 for 1 and a black, first strike and hexproof from white, which, as the text does say, can't be target of white spells or abilities your opponent controls. Has first strike, so we deal combat damage first. And Knight of Malice gets +1/+0 as long as any player controls a white permanent. Then we have our uncommon wildcard. A bit boring for this video, however the uncommon wildcard means we can make any uncommon we desire using this one card, so it's actually very good for collection. And we have a mythic! And we have a Lyra Dawnbringer, a legendary angel that costs 3 double white, and it's a 5/5 with flying, first strike and lifelink, and other angels you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink. I personally love this card. I think it'll be absolutely amazing in a lot of decks. Not so much for the anthem of effect of angels getting +1/+1 lifelink, but the rest of her card pretty much reads like a older card called Baneslayer Angel. So I would probably say this deck will it'll probably make the token list at some point. I think it's strong enough to make the token list, just as kind of an end game finisher. But anyway, folks, that is today's video. Like I said, look out for the beginner's guide to Magic that will be coming out soon. And until that point, I will see you guys next time.